Hey Sagittarius, welcome to Cappy Cove. We're going to do your November 2019 reading. We're going to start with the cards on the left and then go into it. The first card you have is the Ripple Outward. You have the Ten of Swords, the World, the Page of Rods, Writing, Children, Unconditional Love, Knowledge, and this one is your Crystal. Okay, so the first thing that I'm noticing is that the month of November is going to be either a really conflicting time for you, or you're going to end up in a lot of situations with conflict. I'm seeing there could be a lot of arguments, a lot of disagreements, a lot of chaos going on. I feel like this mainly for the family life or relationships, but it also could be in your work as well. Apply this how you will, since it's a general reading. The most obvious thing that I'm seeing here is y'all are going to be in a place of feeling very hurt, betrayed, or feeling in a sense of like the victim. Some of you are going to feel like you're at your breaking point or at the end of the straw, whichever way you want to see that. But this is definitely going to be a time where you kind of hit almost like a rock bottom. I'm seeing this in many different ways for y'all, Sagittarius. But the overall message that I am getting here is that there is something from your past that has to do with the conflict that you're in now. So one of the bigger storylines that I'm receiving here has to do with a Sagittarius who basically is having issues within a relationship or within a family dynamic. And those issues are from your past, like growing up in your childhood. So for example, say like you had a helicopter parent and now you've turned into a helicopter parent. So are you really more frustrated with the child or with the way of your parenting, because you're now turning into the parent that you did not want to become? You can apply this in a million different ways, but that's just an example, because what I'm seeing here is this is like a generational thing, things that have happened over generation, and now you're kind of latching on to the same thing instead of being the one that breaks the cycle. You'll have a lot of children energy in this. Some of you have like, you need either to love your inner self and love your inner child and bring that back out again, or you're still struggling with the broken child in you. Some of you may have children that come from broken homes, and I'm getting, like I said, different scenarios for each Sagittarius, but I am seeing a child here that is coming from a broken home. I'm also seeing a child who could be causing conflict within a family unit as well. Some of you really need to be able to figure out what it is that has happened in the past and how it's affecting you now. That's going to be the biggest lesson of this, is basically figuring out what happened in the past, acknowledging it now, and working through inner conflict and how it has basically been applied into your life and the effects that it's causing on everyone around you. And if this is not you, this is someone who is putting that effect into your life. And you need to be able to look at this and decide, if this is somebody that needs to no longer be in your life anymore. I'm also seeing relationships that are coming to an end. There's also some of you that are going to have relationships that have a lot of arguing and fighting, possibly breaking up, divorces that are coming up here in December as well. I'm also seeing that for those who are thinking of being physical, whether this is fighting, I'm seeing someone that goes to jail for fighting. So I'm getting here the message of you need to be able to use your logic. Not everything is going to be solved with your hands, like in a physical manner. There is a more logical way around it. Some of you also need to be able to sit down. You have the writing card. This is about being able, you can sit down and express everything you feel on paper. just sit there and just free write everything down that you feel, things that you want to work on, things that have happened. But there's like a need to just sit there and write everything down and figure out what needs to be done. There is a Sagittarius who feels as if they're being pulled in many different directions as well. I do see, though, when it comes to work, that there's going to be a whole new start at the job, or there's going to be a new job altogether, but I do see success when it comes to work. I also am seeing traveling coming up here. Some of you may be traveling overseas. I'm also seeing there's going to be a really strong need to network when it comes to your job. I'm also seeing when it comes to, more of the situations with like your family unit and stuff like that, or relationships, I am seeing that there could be either you're going to need to go to counseling, or there's going to be somebody that intervenes in this. Like, I feel like this situation is so bad that somebody's going to have to come in to the family family unit, or like into the home. It's like almost they're going to have to butt their way into the relationship or whatever the case is in order to, it's almost like slapping a reality check. But somebody might have to actually come in and take over, because I'm getting like a really big sense of instability here. I'm also seeing a Sagittarius who gets a pet. Or there's going to be a pet that is an emotional support animal for someone in your home. Some of you also may be going to see a mediator. So this could be with custody and arguments over children. Like there might actually be child custody issues. I'm also seeing that there's a strong need to be involved in sports, especially to let out some of your aggression that you may have built up. Somebody also may be getting a job offer in November. I'm also seeing arguments that have to do around religion. I do see, though, a Sagittarius here, like somebody's going to be getting some good news. I do not feel like the good news has to do with anything in a custody case. Let me make that clear. The good news has nothing to do with the custody case. The good news would be something completely different. This could be news of a child who did something, like got some type of an achievement. This could even just be the news of being able to get the emotional support animal. But there's a news, like almost kind of, I get like a sense of relief with this news. Like you finally got it and you're like really happy with it. There's also a message here to ask yourself, if you are in a situation where you feel like you're the victim, or somebody is basically doing you wrong in many ways, because I get like this is more than one time. But if you're in this situation, to ask yourself why you continue to be in this situation, and to know that there is a way out. So some of you may have to get somebody to come help you get out of this situation, because you can't do it alone for, multiple of reasons. There could be different things for each of you Sagittariuses to where you can't get out of this without somebody helping you get out. But I do overall get a sense of asking yourself, you have to know, do you want to continue to go in this cycle again, or do you want to break it and get out and end it? All right, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there for y'all. Bye.